Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is me doing the bonus question. It is May 31st here in New York City. So not the new problem yet, but I feel like the last couple of days, weeks, or whatever, I've been kind of a little bit tired. So today, before my run, I'm gonna try to do the problem, and luck as I have it, it's a hard problem. So we'll take a look. Um, I did go to the gym earlier today though, so I'm still not 100%, but we'll see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's problem. 3104. It's a hard problem, so maybe it'll take me a while. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm starting on this one a little bit early. Find longest self-contained substring. It's a hard one. Given a string S, your task is to find the length of the longest self-contained substring of S. A substring T of S is called self-contained if T is not equal to S for every character in T. It doesn't exist in the rest of S. What does that even mean? Return the length of the longest self-contained substring of S if it exists. Okay. Take a look at example. BB self-contained if T is not equal to S for every character in T. Substring of T is not. What does that even mean? If T is not equal to S, and for every character it does not exist in the rest of S. So okay, BB is a substring because there's no B outside the string. Is that it? Oh, and it's T is not equal to S, meaning that you cannot pick the full string. Okay, I think I misread that a little bit or misunderstood it a little bit. Okay. So this is BB, this is AA, and then BB, so it's no good. Because you have to take the entire thing. ABA and ABAC is good. D is also good, but then it just makes it. I guess ABAC is the longest. Okay. I think it is a little bit of a wrinkle. I think the way that I have to think about it is just by case analysis. So the self-contained part I don't think is that difficult per se. It's just that you can use T is equal to S, which just makes sense because then it just makes it trivially true. But then you have this case, right? It's basically for every character. If you want, like, I think the variation of this problem, but I don't know what makes it the longest, right? So basically, for example, if you have, I think we can decompose this problem into individual intervals and then merge them as they are necessary. And then now you have components, and then you do a DP on merging adjacent components. Either DP or union, fine, maybe, but I say DP because then now I want to say the other observation is that if you cannot take the entire string, but then you have to basically remove something from the beginning or the end. It doesn't make sense to remove something from the middle, because if you remove something from the middle, you can also think about it as just cutting off the end from that point on, or whichever size is larger, then you just remove the smaller side, right? So in that sense, it is you either remove the prefix or the suffix if you're trying to get the entire string. And if there's no way to do it without it, then you return -1, right? Okay, so I think we have the ideas. I don't think this is so bad. I think this is a little bit I think implementation wise this could be annoying, but I don't think it's that bad, right? Yeah, so basically we'll just do like a first and a last, right? And then for index C and enumerate S, the first of C is equal to index if C is not in first, and then we just always update the last index, right? Achoo! 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 Excuse me. I would also say that, and I think I alluded to this, but I don't think I actually said it out loud for some reason. I didn't articulate this. Let me drink this for a second. which is that there's another Leetcode problem with this premise of I forget what they call it, but that's just called self-contained. Then it's just how many what's the least number of self-contained components that you could have or something like this, like divided it up or something. But yeah, sorry, my allergies is still a little bit annoying, as you can see. But yeah, but for this one, yeah. So then now we want to merge the things that we have to merge, right? I'm trying to think for a second about the must part. Because for example, maybe this is harder than I think, to be honest. But I'm thinking of a case like C, A, C, B, 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 C. In this case, the answer is actually just this thing, right? Because you merge the A's in a way, but you can't merge the A's with the C because C would require everything, right? And now, is that the case? I think this is a very specific case though, because like we said, we only care about the prefix or suffix. So I think this one is a hard problem because I think there's a lot of case analysis, but that means that this case would only happen if the first character is equal to the last character. In that case, you cannot use that character because that's just the way it is, right? I'm also trying to think whether is it good enough to not, because we talk a little bit about the answer is going to be basically some substring that does not include the prefix or the suffix or some combination of it because you cannot take the entire string. But I'm wondering if it's enough to just ignore the first character or the last character and then run it twice. Like, when would you ever also not use the second character, right? I mean, you wouldn't use it if the second character is also the last character, I suppose, but because then now I'm trying to like, is that enough? I mean, I feel like that would give us a good answer, but I don't know if that would be enough. To be honest, I can't justify it, but that's why I'm like a little bit struggling a little bit. But I also want to rewrite this. I think this is actually, in a way, the way that I'm talking about is way different than. I'm going to play around with this idea. Maybe it's going to be wrong, but I'm going to play around with this. Like maybe we have a character that is a skip character. So basically we always skip this character. But what we want to, well, we still have to handle this, right? Because we can't just take because one of my initial idea, for example, for in this case, is that we just chunk it up, right? Like if we want to skip C, then now we have A, B, 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 but we can't just do it that way because we might have something like, you know, this, and then this already makes the B not possible, but A's are okay, right? Okay, so I think we can play around with it, but it is definitely there are different structures even if that's the case. Now I don't even know if this is good enough that we remove only the first and then the last character, but we'll see, right? So what I want to because what I want to do is almost doing it backwards, but I have to think about the complexity a little bit. So this is harder than I expected, to be honest. But what I mean by that is that here, for example, now that we have these chunks, we see that B is in 2 chunks. And if B is in 2 chunks, then we have to remove B. And then now, but for example, if you have B here instead, and then now we remove B, and then now you have A in 2 chunks, right? But then, like, how do you do it that way? I think that's the thing. But that said, I do worry about the complexity here, but I think that should be okay anyway, because that should be just, I mean, we can only remove 26 characters, so we should be okay. But, yeah, okay. Okay, I mean, I mean, let's play around with it, right? I'm trying to think about how to implement it correctly, and then the idea is going to be, and I spelled calculate wrong. Huh, how did that happen? Is there a? I feel like there's a. Is there like a split thing? Like, can I just do this? Is that a thing, or am I like confusing it? Nope. Let me run it real quick. Oh, this doesn't do anything. Let's just say C. Oh, whoops. Character C. Okay, so that's good. That is what I expect or wanted it to do, right? So then now we can say we want to calculate skip of 0. We want to calculate skip of -1, right? Oh, not skip, S. Right, and this is good. It gives us the chunks, and then now we can say chunks is equal to this, and now for chunk in chunks, we want to put it in a set. Yeah, okay. I wanted to say S for set, but yeah, something like this, and we want to put it on a chunk, and then now we want a frequency of this, so then now maybe I don't know if that works. Or do I have to do it like some, it might not work. Yeah, set items and have items, so then we might have to do you know, C1 for C and scene or something like this. This is not a how? So okay, so that looks like it works, right? Because then now we can look at, yeah, for example here B is in 2 chunks and A is in 2 chunks, right? B, C, and D is in 1 chunk, and AB is okay. Yeah. So then now this is what's good. So then maybe we can do while true. Yeah, and then if any f dot values v is greater than 1 for v in f dot values, so then we if none, If or v is equal to 1, then we break. Otherwise, we continue again. Except for now, we want to chunk some more, right? I think that's the. So we want to do something like new chunks for a chunk in chunks. New chunks. New chunks dot append chunk dot split of. Oh, I have to get those values or get the ones that are multiple. So maybe I should have done anyway. Okay, multiple is equal to for v in for key values in f dot items. If value is greater than 1, multiple dot append k. If it terminates, okay, found is equal to false, then now we found the multiple. Oh, I guess we can just use multiple, right? So now if length of multiple is equal to 0, then we can break. Otherwise we have a new chunk and then we do new chunk and then chunks is equal to new chunks, right? Just want to see that it runs. Object has no split. Is chunks not a string? I guess maybe after this first time. Chunk should be a string or an array of strings. What is chunk? Oh, well, but chunk is a list instead. Also, we have to do something about the multiple part. Okay, so then afterwards, chunks is equal to new chunks. New chunks because this appends the split of array, we should be extend. Okay. But then now maybe it wants infinite loop because I don't know, because we don't split anything, so it doesn't remove them from the chunks. How do you split on multiple characters? That's what I want to know. Python split on either of two characters. Oh, regex that's split. I would go just do a replace, I think. Maybe that's easier. But then we already have chunks, so that's a little bit trickier. What is the Pythonic way of writing it? So that split would be return a thing. Like we could do this, I guess that'll work. But probably not as fast. Alright, we'll just do it this way for now, and then you can see that you already see that this is 2, this is just 0, and then now we just take the biggest chunks, right? So the biggest chunk would be the answer. So then we return max of length of chunk for chunk in chunks. So then we're going to return max of this or this, right? I mean, I don't think I wrote it the cleanest way, but I just wanted to get something proof of concept out. Oh, this thing. Yeah, whatever. Is it this one? I guess it's this one. Why? I thought we printed it and we saw it. This is so it returns 4 and so how why so why is this not returning 4? Maybe my things are weird. It just returns -1 forever. Length of this is chunks. So why is the max of length of this is -1? Did I do this wrong? Oh, chunks. That typo. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is fine, except for we don't handle 0 or -1 very well. Why do we have 0? Don't know actually. I don't think this is very nice or performant, but I'm gonna submit it just a little bit of a YOLO. Just I want to see if the idea is right. Like if maybe with a time limit we could do some optimizations, and I definitely did not implement this in the cleanest way, but we'll see. Like I just want to see a proof of concept, and that's fine for this one anyway. For a contest, maybe I would spend more time. And I would also say that the one thing that's a little bit tricky about this problem is that it's actually unclear whether the time limit exceeded, because we have a while loop, while true loop. And I think this should terminate, but still, it's unclear whether, you know, this is a time performance thing or while true thing. And it seems like it is a real loop, because this returns -1, so that's good. So, or it's a real performance thing, but I thought it would only do 2 things, so okay. I mean, this is only 26 times n. I don't know why that would be that slow. But I mean, maybe I can do some very obvious things of how do I remove empty strings, right? How is it? It's that filter, I think, but I always forget what filter does, or like it tests whether it's true or not, and then that's always filtered. Like I always forget whether the filter is filtering it to be true or filtering it to be false, which is actually kind of silly. I feel like I should know this, but nonetheless. So it's filter things that are true. So filter lambda x, where x is, I think. Oh, this object doesn't have filter. I thought. What was I looking at? Python this filter. Oh, filter is not on it. Yeah. I knew that actually. Is this on the new chunks? It's such a weird. Maybe, I don't know. Alright, this is slightly. Is it faster? I don't know. Let's give it a submit. Oh. Well, I mean, that's good. How did it. Was this, let's see, 1307? Huh. So I did change something. I just remove empty stuff. Why does this? Wrong. All right. Well, I don't know that I sped it up because, you know, but oh, because now once I filter all these things out, instead of 0, you get 1, or you get -1. So you get a -1 here, which means, I don't know what that means actually. Or like how does, I don't know how this changes this So it's -1 and -1. So that's why we have -1. But why is it 1? Oh, just... So, okay, so let's take a look at this case. Okay, so we do D. Maybe default should be 0? I don't know. No, then it's just... That's wild. Why would that actually... Oh, wait, no. That's fine. It's still the same wrong answer. That's good. Maybe I have a different logic, but why would that change? So, okay, so I have G, Y, and then you remove Y, and then you have 1, right? So, huh. Well. Oh, I see, I see. That's a very subtle bug, actually. That's a very subtle bug, actually. How did that even get other stuff correct then? It may time out now, though. I mean, this is 26 times n. It's not that slow, but I guess it is enough. That's a pretty good... I mean, the thing that I wasn't sure about this one, it's a little bit YOLO, is that, like I said, I think that the best answer is just removing the first character or the last character, and then iteratively check what else you get remove. I think the hard part about this is, yeah. So the bug that I had with the second wrong answer is because this returns a filter object, which is an iterator. So then after this iterates, oh no, well, yeah, this is a filter object. So then after this iterates, this part actually just returns 0 for everything, because it doesn't iterate again. That's how iterators work. And I think I just kind of, I don't know how it got past 1100 test cases though, to be honest, as well. But nonetheless, there were a wrong answer for that one as a result of me changing this. And it's just to get rid of empty strings, which made it apparently fast enough to handle. We could also probably do multiples at the same time, but I think you have to write something like, let me look it up again. Or Python filter or split on multiple characters, and I think they want us to do regex, which is okay, fine. So they want ru.split, join multiple, chunk maybe. Maybe not, maybe that's slow. Or maybe infinite loops because I'm messing something up. Though at the very least I probably could make this into a thing. But let's see if it infinite loops on one input, or is it just like okay, so that works. Is it better on this? So it's on the big input. It's either that or just, I don't know. So apparently using regex to split multiple things is even slower. So maybe we can do it one at a time. Just to kind of change it back real quick. Because basically I was just being lazy. I was splitting it on one thing at a time. And then the next loop, it'll find the second string anyway, so it's not really a worry. But we could probably still be a little bit better and just do it all at the same time. All right, let's give it a submit. This one to be slightly faster. I think the idea is right. We can probably do implementation on this much cleaner way, but oh well, this is just silly. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Now we're just doing extra work for no reason because it's a multiple of m, but we split on the same thing, so that was just a typo. Okay, so yeah, now we see that this is more in line with what I expected. It's just that we do a lot of extra loops for no reason because I was just being lazy on implementation. Yeah, and this also handles the case where the first character is equal to the last character, which is good. Though you can also do an if statement on it, I suppose. Yeah. So what's the complexity here, right? As I said, so you want to calculate function twice. This is this function, right? This is while true, but every time you do this loop, you remove at least one character from the string, right? One character of the alphabet, not one character of the string. So that means that this loops at most 26 times. So this is going to be 26 times n, right? And then you times it by 2. So this is going to be O of alpha times n time and space 2, I think, because just the way that we do new chunks, it's like way, there's a lot of things. But yeah. That's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Definitely a tricky problem. I want to say a lot of edge cases, but not even really that much, to be honest. Because I feel like, well, I mean, it's easy to say that now because, well, we have the answer, but I wasn't sure that I still don't have a definite proof that removing the first or the last character is enough in a forced kind of way. Though, I mean, we did talk about removing the prefix and the suffix because it makes sense, right? Because in a sense that if you remove a character from the middle, then you might as well remove the left or the right, whichever one is the smaller one, because you only keep one of them, right? Contiguous. And from that, I was like, oh, well, if you want to minimize the things you remove, then just remove the first or the last. It's not quite a good explanation, though, so I don't know. Let's. This is even slower than me. Mine is faster. Did everyone do 26 squared? I guess so. Let me double check my complexity actually. So one loop of this is O of alpha. I mean, this is O of alpha, but this is O of n, and this is. I guess it depends how you want to say it. Because this is also O of n, kind of. So it's not. I mean, this is O of alpha, and you have alpha loop, but it's not. It's not in additional to the n, right? Oh, I guess this part is. I forgot about this part. Sorry, because I did it the other way before. But the sum of this is going to be only 26. Like m is only going to be 26 in total. So this loop and this loop works together in a sum is equal to 26 kind of way. So I still think this is O of alpha times m or n. I don't know why I said m. Oh, because for multiple. O of alpha times n plus alpha square, if you want to say that, but that's not a. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy to good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.